Hello, I'm Becca King-Reed for CTV. Can you get more money back from the IRS this year than you paid in? Well, yes, you can, if you qualify for a tax credit. Surprisingly, $6 million worth of tax credits go unclaimed in Santa Cruz County every year. People just don't know they're available or how to file for them. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how you qualify for these tax credits and how to get free help filling out your tax return. My guest today runs an organization that provides free tax preparation clinics, Maria Cadenas of Santa Cruz Community Ventures. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so glad you could be here because this is an interesting subject. I mean, people aren't probably dying to hear all about their taxes, but the thing that does make this interesting is getting more money back than you paid in. That's very compelling.
Money is compelling, yes.
Yeah, money is compelling at all, but getting extra money is really kind of a fun thing. So talk about a little bit about the difference between the deductions that we usually take and a tax credit.
So when you think about a refund, for example, is the idea that you paid in a certain amount of money into the tax system, in the IRS, through payroll and other methods. And at the end, you kind of match it up, that you pay what you needed to, more or less, and then you get a refund based on what you put into the system. A credit is really not tied to how much you put in, it's really made as a project of the federal government. In most cases were created as a way to combat poverty and other issues to make sure that the community is doing well in general. So a credit comes to you regardless of how much you put into the system, and it's not tied to the amount that was taken out of your income.
Now, these come both at the state and the federal level, is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. So the state system has different credits than the federal. Most of them are complementary, the most common one being the Earned Income Tax Credit at the federal level. And California just launched their own Earned Income Tax Credit last year. This will be the second year that it's running.
Wow, so people are getting even more. So,
if they qualify, yes. Yes.
Now, some people just don't make enough money to be required to fill out a tax form and do that filing, and it's kind of a hassle, and so they don't. Tell us why they should.
Well, again, if we're talking about the credits, if they qualify for the credit, they might be having an earned income that is less than even $10,000. That still may qualify them for the California Earned Income Tax Credit and for the Federal Income Tax Credit. That's money that they're leaving at the table. If they go ahead and file their taxes, they can claim those credits if they qualify and take that money with them to make a difference in their lives.
Do you have a ballpark figure? Is this like $30? Is it worth going to get this?
So it depends, and I'll give a range, and I always do a caveat because it's not a promise that you'll get this back, but to get an idea. So if you are married with 3 children, the credit could be worth up to $6,500 in range, or if you're single with no children, it might be $500. So there's significant dollars there to help families and working families that are earning really poverty wages to get back.
Yeah, it's just a nice thing at this time of year to have that. So there are a number of refundable credits, as you mentioned, and today we're going to talk about the Earned Income Tax Credit because that's one of the most common ones. Well, let's see. We've already talked about how much people can possibly get back. So, how much as a community do you think that Santa Cruz receives in these kind of refunds?
So we could tell from the refunds that we've done on the last year for the 2015 fiscal year, we served around 500 families, and the total of refunds given back to the community just from those 500 was close to $700,000. That's a significant amount of money that's going back into the community. We interviewed our clients and asked them if they were willing to tell us how they would use these funds. And the majority, the top 2 responses was food and rent. That means that the refunds are being used right back into the community, to grocery stores, into housing and other aspects that are being used.
So it's not only good for you, it's good for your neighbors.
It's good for everybody, yes.
So what if, now you said you guys helped 500, and we mentioned in the beginning that about $6 million is left on the table, and that's just in Santa Cruz County. What would happen if everybody did this? If everyone actually who could get the credit filed for it?
Well, that would be wonderful. One, I do want to say that we don't work alone in Santa Cruz County. We partner with Project Scout from the Seniors Council. They also do sites with the program. It's called VITA, the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, and they help a significant amount of people. So we share the region in order to better serve families. But if everybody could claim those credits, that would be in essence $6 million back into the community. Again, we know people are using it for food, they're using it for rent, they're using it for immediate needs. And some are saving, but really it's to make the community run better and the families not fall into poverty, really. That's what we want to not see happen.
So it seems like there's a significant upside to filing your taxes if you qualify for these credits, and many, many people do.
Yes.
Why don't people do it? What is your take on why people don't go the extra step?
Well, nobody likes taxes, right? I mean, that's the common fear of numbers, filing forms, bureaucracy, the idea of that's going to take you time, or you don't know that there's a free service that will do that for you. And if it's free and you don't know about it, you're saying, okay, now I have to buy tax software or I have to pay a tax preparer to do it. So it creates just mental barriers of getting through to getting your taxes done. We say, just go ahead and do your taxes. We'll do them for free.
Yeah, this is huge. So you can remove the biggest obstacle is someone's there to do it for you, and they will know how to fill this out so you can get the right amount back. And so tell us a little about these free tax clinics. Who can go there? Who's qualified to be there?
Yeah. We are part of a federal program. It's called the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. It is the largest anti-poverty program of the federal government. And to be part of these sites, we train volunteers, people like you and me, who get trained to be tax preparers and get certified by the IRS. The sites are open at different times in different locations. Some are appointment-based, some are walk-in based, so each site is a little different. But as long as you're earning less than $52,000 as an individual or family, you qualify to be served. Now, there are certain taxes that we won't do. If you have really self-employed income and you have losses or you have extremely complicated capital gains, we won't be able to serve you. But for the most part, we're able to serve a lot of the families that need that. And our website and other sources will have the details of what you can come in. You can expect to be greeted, talked to in a professional manner, served by a certified tax preparer, and then we review everything to make sure the quality of the return is adequate for the program.
So do you have a South County and a Santa Cruz area location?
Yeah, so with Community Ventures, we run 3 sites. One is here in downtown Santa Cruz. The Santa Cruz Community Credit Union location, they give us a community room where you can go to. We also partner with the YWCA Watsonville. We have a site there, and we partner with the Community Action Board, also in Watsonville, so we have a site there as well. And then, like I said, Project Scouts at different locations, including the public libraries.
So there's no reason not to get this done.
Yeah.
So how many people took advantage of this service last year?
For Community Ventures, it was around 500. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So could you serve more? Is there more of a demand than that?
There's definitely more demand. And yes, we could serve more, but we also need the community to partner with us to make that happen. The only way this program works is because we have wonderful volunteers who commit from February through April, at least one day a week, to come in and do people's taxes. And there's nothing more rewarding than being able to say, an average refund of $1,500 for the family walking in and getting served. It also means a commitment of showing up and getting trained. And I know a lot of people think, I don't know if I want to take on the responsibility of doing somebody's taxes, but this is a program that's been tried and tested. We train new volunteers every year, and if we can get more volunteers, then we can serve more people. That's what it comes down to.
Now, there are a couple different things this year, you told me, that if people come in and have their taxes done, there is a waiting period.
Yeah, so if they qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit, so if they are getting the income tax credit, they won't be able to see the refund until after February 15th. It's just a federal thing to do with the budgeting and distribution of income.
Is this an e-filing process?
It is, in that if you come to our office, we'll fill it out and we'll send it via e-file. Unless you want to take it with you and mail it yourself, then you take on that responsibility. It really depends on that person, the client that's walking in. But we do e-file it. We give a paper copy for the client to take with them after they sign and review it and make sure everything looks right.
And is direct deposit available?
Direct deposit is available, and we strongly recommend it. If you have an account, a checking, savings account, or if you don't have one, you should open one and get it. There's 2 reasons for it. One, it ensures that you get your refund much faster. A refund through a direct deposit account is given to you within 4 weeks. Usually within 3 weeks, you have your refund. A check can take up to 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks for you to reach you. And we know that if it gets lost or something happens to the check, the IRS doesn't take it as their responsibility. You're going to have to work with them a lot to try to get a reissue check or try to get that money back to you. So we strongly recommend direct deposit for your tax refunds. It saves everybody a lot of hassle, and also means from a community standpoint that if a lot of more people do that, we have the money faster in the community and more direct economic impact to the region.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all this great tax help. It's always fun to have a bright spot on the tax scene. I appreciate your being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us on CTV. We hope you got some actionable information in this tax session. And there are other tax credits available if you have children, if you're getting an education or caring for a family member. If you'd like to know more about those, watch CTV's Take Back Your Taxes program. You can find it listed in our program guide at communitytv.org. Thank you.